Hey, it's Lynn Brown. I'm a speaker, trainer, and coach, and a partner with Empowered Living Teaching Team. And as many of you have heard me say before, I spent the first half of my life literally people pleasing. And then when I wasn't doing that in my spare time, I was literally trapped by the opinions of other people. And I don't know about you, but if you've ever lived in that space, it's more like living in a mental prison. And then one day I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I decided, you know what, it's time to do something different. And so I bet on myself. I saw this little infomercial about becoming a speaker, trainer, and coach. And I just clicked it and I was all in. And it was amazing because when I changed the way that I was looking at things, the things that I looked at began to change. And then later I heard that Wayne Dyer quote and I was like, oh my gosh, that's my life. So now it's like I'm drinking from the fire hose. I mean, every day I am learning, stretching. I'm just like this huge rubber band. I'm just being stretched in all areas, but I've never been more excited to wake up every day. And so now I'm just partnering with people that want to do the same. And I've committed to spend the rest of my life doing this. So today I am super excited to bring in our guest for today's show. I just met her recently. I was like, you've got to be a guest on our Gritty Women Global podcast. And so I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to turn it over to my new friend that starts each day with a grateful heart, Tanya. Talk to us.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I am Tonya Tenica. Yes, I use my middle name because a part of me coming out after almost 15 years in the business industry, I was ashamed of oh my gosh, Tenica, I didn't like my middle name. It was so funny. And so I'm learning to just step out and just be me. So, I actually took almost like a year and a half off of business. And I dove into, which I love the whole grit, that is the gritty, that is so cool. I literally just dove into self-development, life, inner healing, transformation, shut off the social media, got rid of everything, and literally it was just God and I on this journey in the wilderness, And so, just coming back on, and I saw this show and I thought it was a beautiful thing to not just empower women, but really get down dirty. That's what I thought, get down into the rawness and the realness of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't do that enough.
No, we don't.
We have to put on this pretty face and this, and the clothes and the earrings or whatever. We have to have this convincing facade that everything's okay. We have to be taught to compartmentalize our emotions and do this and do that and just be everything to everyone. Mother, wife, accountant, babysitter.
Yeah.
We're like a cook. How many hats do we wear?
I don't even know how many. Yeah. We just give and give and give and give and give. And we think that there's just some trophy, we earn this trophy in doing that. And honestly, at the end of the day, if that's all we do, there's nothing left at the end of the day. And this whole mask symbolism thing that we're going through now with all this talk about mask. And I'm like, you know what? I'm finally ripping mine off from, the first half of my life and just going, you know what? This is me. And like it, leave it, love it, whatever. But I'm going to be real. And real is so much better than fake.
It's real, but I will say this, it's better. But you have to, I know we talked a little earlier, in order to be real, you have to be transparent and be willing to put not just your strengths, but your flaws and your weaknesses and call yourself beautifully broken. And that means you have to relinquish control. That's a hard thing for women to do because we're always asked to be in control. Cook dinner, do this, do that. And you have to have everything a step ahead and controlled, you know what I mean? And prepared. And then now you ask us not to?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's so true. And I parented out of control and out of fear. I
Yeah.
mean, my boys grew up. I mean, I used to tell them all these stories about swimming. It's like, you can't eat and go swimming. You can't swim by the bottom of the drain of the pool because it'll suck you down, suck your leg in there. I mean, everything. Oh my God, it was so twisted and sideways. But you know what? When I was little, we were told you can't eat your peanut butter sandwich and go swimming. And so I grew up thinking, my God, we're going to die if we go swimming and we eat, a potato chip. It's not that bad, but I'm just using that as an example.
I
But
know.
we live so much out of, you said it, out of that control factor. And I think even now we thought, you know 5 months ago we were in control. We weren't in control then. We just thought
No.
we were. So now we're like, oh, everything's out of control, let's get back to whatever normal. I'm like, sister, normal is gone. Whatever that was, normal is just familiar, and it's gone.
But they
So
didn't even like normal. They were begging for change and, oh my God, just help me. And I don't want this life. And now we have it. We have the ability to reset. We have the really ability to reset. But I was actually looking it up. I wanted to share it with you. So the word, I'm like a word person. So the word control is to power over. It's to reduce the incidence or severity of, in something. Incorporate controls. Think about that. Do you want to be a woman that has power over your children? Like, that's not like, I don't want to force my kids to love me or my husband to love me. Like think about what we're saying when we want control. And the funny part is you said it like, oh, I was raised with this, this, and this. And I remember this little saying, this little girl said, Mom, why do you cut the ham? Have you ever heard of that? Cut the ends of the ham?
no.
So she says, Mom, why do you cut the ends of the ham? She goes, well, I don't know. My mom did it. She goes, well, can we call Grandma? So she calls Grandma. Grandma, why do you cut the ends of the ham? Well, I really don't know. My mom did it. Great Grandma, why do you cut the ends of the ham? Oh, baby, I couldn't fit it in the pan. We couldn't afford a big enough pan, so I would cut the ends so we could actually fit it and cook it. Think about generationally, because we didn't ask why. We just took on things,
Yeah.
but yet we want to cut off those generational curses and things that we have and the ways that our parents did things.
Exactly right. It's so true. And it's in every institution, up and down, I think, from business to church to just anything. You can put it in any institution. It's the same thing. And I think that there's never been a more important time for us to raise awareness, to get people to think about what they're thinking about, because we're just, so many people are drifting. And I was one, Lynn Brown, for the first half of my life. I mean, I was drifting. I was going to church, sitting there going, is there more? I guess there's not. I guess this is it. And
I hope there's more.
you know what? Is this all there is? Okay, next Sunday I'm gonna come back again. And then finally I stood up and was like, no, there's more to this. And you read the verses, you go to church, or if you're a person of faith, or if you're not, that's okay. We love you too. And it's not about that. But for me personally, I would read that Romans 12:2, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And then I would go back and do the same thing the same way another year. And finally I realized it does take work, and it is uphill.
Because I think as women, we don't realize either, we have such this hunger and desire to be loved, and to be accepted for who we are, and knowing that we have baggage, wanting whomever we're with, friends, family, husbands, but whatever it is, to just say, okay, I know you're not here where you want to be, but I accept you as where you are. And we want to have a safe place to kind of release that. But there's a responsibility that we have too for inner healing. There's a responsibility that we have to, like what you said, you went to church, you read, but what did we do when we got home? Did we have a bond with God? Because at one point I was like, I through my year of transformation, I said, I'm done. I don't recommend this for everybody. Not everybody can withstand this kind of wilderness, I guess, experience, you can say. But I didn't have church. I had spiritual parents, and I had individuals to hold me up through the process. But I said, I'm done. I want to learn who God is for myself. I want to have a relationship with God, and I want to self-develop, and I want to heal, and I want to get rid of my daddy issues. I want to be who I know I'm called to be. I want to help, transform others. One of my biggest passions is clarity, bringing individuals clarity, having them step into their identity and understand who they are as a person, and their special, secret sauce, their it factor, right?
Yeah.
And but it took a lot to do it, a responsibility to stop blaming others. And we can tend to do that. I mean, I've been there. I've been a domestic violence. I've been sexually, molested. I mean, you name it. I've been rejected, abandoned, abused, neglect, whatever. And at one point, you can't use it as an excuse anymore.
That's right. I think that's so important is that I think our first thing is, who can we blame? And we're even seeing that right now in our world, who can we blame? And then the other thing is just staying in that zone, even though it's not really comfortable. So many people think it's comfortable, and they shrink back to familiar rather than fighting their way through. But I do think there comes a time when you even, and this sounds weird to some people, but I'm like, you can't just be begging and pleading and bargaining with God to, please, Lord, make my life better. You have to get up off your knees sometimes and kick butt. And that sounds crazy, and some people disagree with that. But I mean, Lynn Brown didn't come up with that. The man that wrote the Bible, inspired the Bible, said to the man laying by the pool for 38 years. And I realized one day, I counted up my years. I was like, oh my God, I beat him. I've been trapped for, for 40. So
pick up your bed and walk.
Yeah, get up, take up your mat and go for a walk. Just try it today, And so I know there's so many women listening right now that are saying, well, how can I do it? And so, what could you share? What's just one little thing that maybe they could do to just begin to just take that first step? Whether it is, there were times I had to write affirmations and put them on my mirror in my bathroom and say them. You know what? I'm brilliant. I am imperfectly perfect. I am beautiful. I am whatever the thing was. So what would you recommend? What's one thing they could do, women could do today?
It's funny that you said those things, but I used to actually take alarms in my phone, and I used to, at different times of the day, an alarm would go off on my phone. I'd look at it and totally forget, and it would be an affirmation or something. What I'm going to say
tip right there, that's an amazing tip right there. Just put it in your phone, an affirmation, and every couple hours send it to wow. Go ahead. What would you say?
I think the biggest thing for me, honestly, is just start to just take responsibility. Really just start to take action in general, because see, your healing journey is different from me. God might say something different for you. The things that you might work on now, I already have conquered. The things that I have conquered, you might be working on now. So the first thing I would tell you women, honestly, is just start. And the best way to do that is to just say, look at yourself in the mirror, which is very hard to do, women. Look at yourself in the mirror and literally say, I take responsibility for my life right now. And what does that look like? Whatever your spirituality is. Like I said, mine is God, Jesus Christ. But, and I literally just said, what does that look like? And whatever came to mind, I just worked on that. Whether it was eating, whether it was with health, whether it was my dad issues, whatever it was, I took one step at a time. And that was it. I didn't try to fix it all at once.
That's right.
I just took responsibility.
Yeah, it is. I love that. Just take the next step. Maybe you don't see the whole plan, but what can you do? Where you are with what you have, just take the next step. Honestly, it's what I did. It's what you did. And you just have to be willing to take the step and into the unknown. Yeah. And
I remember actually asking myself why. That was a big thing for me.
Wow.
Why am I the way that I am? Why did I scream at my kids? Why was I mad at my husband? Why? And when I kept asking myself, and I wrote it down, because this happened, because I got offended. Why did you get offended? Because it made me feel worthless. Why do you feel worthless? Because my dad left me. Oh, there you go. Now we're here. Now we're to the truth. Does that make sense? Because most of the time I realized in my life, all the things I was angry about, it was surface and it was not getting to the root, and it was just a little trigger. So it wasn't my husband or my children who were actually getting on my nerves, because normally that wouldn't have bothered me. Make sense? It was something underlying that triggered me. So asking why.
Yeah, that's so powerful. And wow, I think that I could talk to you for just 10 years straight. But so we're definitely going to be bringing you back for sure, because we're going to have get the rest of this story. And I know that this connection is just beginning, with us, and I know that the listeners are going to be able to, reach out to you too. So tell us really quick, a way that, your website, or what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
You can just go to www.Tanya, Tenica, Tenica.com, and you can get all my social media, anything you want to get a hold of me.
Oh, that is so awesome. Well, we're definitely going to, be connected. We're connected for life. And I love your name, Tonya Tenica. I love that. It's a gritty name. I love it. And so yeah, we're going to be winding down here, and I know that you've shared a little bit about it, but just real quick, when you hear the word gritty, G for gratitude, R resilient, I inspire. The 2 T's are to think tough, and Y is you do you. What resonated with you the most?
I'm going to say resilience. Resilience, because women get kicked down. Women get hurt. They are gentle. They're way more fragile. We can say that we're strong and we're all these things and we don't need a man and all this other great stuff. But the truth of the matter is we are so tender and beautiful and soft inside. And we hide behind that hard shell. And I remember multiple times sitting and thinking to myself, because of life and circumstances, that I wanted to go home. I wanted to commit suicide. And I thought, I can't do this. There's shame. There's so much there. And I don't think I can do this, God. And multiple times, God has literally intervened in my life in the process of doing it and saved me. And I had to learn resilience. I had to learn to never get to that place again. Because no matter what, if I wasn't alive right now, I would not be able to help other women and men and entrepreneurs and individuals rise up and realize that you can't live off of just a moment, because life is a series of moments.
Wow, that is so
powerful. There's another moment there, that's going to be stronger. So
that's right. So I'm so thankful that, you chose life. So thankful, because what an inspiration and encouragement you are to the world. And I just look forward to our journey together, and we will definitely be coming back for part 2 to hear the rest of this story for sure. And so just remember always that, gritty is the new pretty, and gritty is the new strong. And we're going to fall down 7,000 times, but we're going to get up. We're going to grit up again. So I just want to thank you again for sharing your time, your life with us today. And I look forward to connecting with you soon.